This week, I'm going to lead you through an after-work yoga practice for hips and shoulders. We're going to focus on mobilizing these areas that often can easily get a bit stuck, especially if we need to sit on a computer for long hours. Let's get started. For this week's practice, you don't necessarily need any props. I have one knee pad, and you could have something to cushion your knees if you know that you have sensitive knees. But other than that, we don't need any props. And our practice is going to start from lying down on the belly. So when you're ready, bring yourself to lie down on the front. And you could first bring hands under the head. We'll just take a few breaths here. Allowing your breath to slow down. Allowing the heavy pelvis to sink down towards the mat. Softening tension that you might feel around the shoulders. And just focus on sending your breaths a bit further down. So towards the bottom of the rib cage, down towards the belly. So that we're not just breathing up to the shoulders, but letting the breath sink down. And when you're lying down on the belly, you could also imagine you're breathing down towards the mat. Let's take another breath in and out. And then with your next couple of breaths, open your arms out to the sides, either into some kind of a cactus shape where your elbows are a bit higher than your shoulders, or you might even open arms further into a T shape. And then we're going to bend the knees, so you turn the soles of the feet up towards the ceiling. And now start to swing your feet, your shins from side to side. The windshield wipers movement. You can allow your whole pelvis to rock a bit from side to side. You can let your back move. And keep breathing in and out. Those calm, slow breaths. And then with your next couple of breaths, bring your legs towards the right side of the mat. Leave your right arm into that cactus shape. Again, elbow a bit higher than the shoulder. And step left hand closer to the left shoulder. We're going to slowly roll ourselves onto the right side. And you can keep your knees bent. We're going to come to a place where we find a bit of a stretch around that right shoulder, maybe across the chest, in the pecs, without hurting in the shoulder joint. So you can still adjust the height of that right elbow in relation to your shoulder. And the left hand keeps gently pressing down towards the mat. So the left arm is supporting you to stay on that right side. Kind of rolling the weight over that right shoulder and arm in order to create that gentle stretch. Take another breath in and out, just opening that front line. And then as you exhale, slowly come back to center. You can keep your knees bent. We'll do same to the other side. So now step right hand close to the right shoulder. Bring left arm into that cactus shape. And then press down through the right arm. Now roll onto your left side. And again, the right arm is supporting you. So you're kind of rolling your weight over that left shoulder and arm. You can still adjust the height. So the height of the place of your left elbow in relation to the left shoulder. Trying to keep it at the same height, or you might slide your left elbow a bit higher along the floor than where your left shoulder is. And breathing here, and again sending your breaths further down towards the ribs, down towards the belly. keeping tops of the shoulders soft. Take another breath in and out. And then as you exhale, you can slowly roll back onto your belly. Now extend your legs onto the mat. They could be roughly hip width apart or even a bit wider. And then both hands on the mat. As you inhale, peel your chest off the mat into a small cobra pose. And then slide your elbows, your forearms on the mat, like the Sphinx pose. We're going to make this a bit more active Sphinx. Now just slightly pull forward with your hands, with your forearms, and gently try to draw your chest forward between the arms. So we're keeping upper back active. Gently draw tops of the shoulders away from the ears, as if you're trying to pull yourself forward along the mat, along the floor. Breathing towards the chest, just activating the upper back, that support around the shoulder blades. You might be looking forward or you might be looking down towards the mat, so you can keep your neck free. Take another breath in and out here. And then as you exhale, slowly release your chest down. Bring both hands again under the shoulders. And now lift yourself onto hands and knees, onto all fours. And now if you know that you have sensitive knees, you could bring some support under the right knee. And we're going to step the left foot forward, close to the hands, and leave left hand on the inside of that left foot. So your left arm is supporting the left knee, the left hip. We're going to inhale, reach up through the right arm. So you're twisting out to the right. Take another breath in. As you exhale, bring that right arm under the left thigh, like threading the needle. And then inhale again, twisting out to the right, reaching the right arm up. Same again. Exhale, close the chest. Bring right arm under the left leg. And inhale again, turning chest to the right, reaching the right arm up. 2 more times. Exhaling down, threading the right arm under the left leg. And inhaling, reaching up, opening the chest. 1 more time. Exhaling down. You might even follow the hand with your gaze. And inhaling up, opening the chest. And then exhale, bring both hands to the mat. Now tuck your right foot toes under and then lift your right knee off the mat. And then you can lower the pelvis a bit further down. I'm just looking for some opening along the front line of that right leg, hip. Still keeping tops of the shoulders released away from the ears. Support on both hands. And exhale, lower the right knee down. Now we start to turn towards the left side of the mat. And we're going to step the left foot lower down along the mat and then turn onto the right side into the mermaid pose. So now we're looking for some opening along the right side of the body. Keep your right foot, right hip, and then right hand along the same line. The left foot is there just to support you. Same with the left hand. And breathing, we're gently pressing down through the right shoulder. Depending on how much you feel tightness along the right side, you might either slightly lean onto the right shoulder, so lowering yourself down, or you might be actively pushing the floor away that might intensify the feelings along the right side. Breathe here a couple more times in and out again, keeping the neck soft, neck free. And then slowly start to lean onto your pelvis, coming into a seat. And now we're kind of turning away from the front of the mat, turning to the other end of the mat and finding a half shoelace pose. So we're going to keep the right leg extended and then cross the left leg over so that your knees are maybe not in the same line, but kind of on top of each other. And from there, just start to walk your hands forward. You could rock the weight a bit from one hip or one buttock to the other, and then lean into a forward bend. Allow your head to lean down as well. You might bend your elbows, go even further down if that feels good for you now. And you can keep gently rocking from one buttock to the other, or gently swing the upper body from side to side. Just softening across the upper back between the shoulder blades, softening around the hips, in the buttocks, in the thighs. Take another breath in and out here. And then slowly start to bring your back up. So coming back into that upright seat, you can roll the shoulders. And then we're going to go back the same way, but now onto all fours. So turn yourself back towards the top of the mat where we came from and bring yourself onto hands and knees. And if you need to cushion any knees, you could bring something soft under the knees. And then we're going to go into some circling movement. So circling the weight from hands to knees, knees to hands. Or if you now feel that your wrists are a bit tender, you can also come down onto elbows. So you're circling from elbows to knees, knees to elbows. And especially if you've been on a computer a lot, the wrists might feel quite tired. This might be a nice change to come down onto elbows. And then change the direction. Allow your shoulders to move, allow your hips to move. You can allow your spine to move. There might even be some cat-cow movements along the way, whatever feels good right now. Let's do another couple of circles. And then slowly bring yourself back to center. If you're on your elbows, come back onto your hands. And then we're going to step the right foot forward. So we're going to go into those lunging movements on the other side. And here again, you could have some cushioning under the left knee. And we're going to leave the left hand on the mat. Right hand on the mat on the inside of the right foot. Leave the left knee on the mat. And then as you inhale, reach your left arm up, twisting out to the left. As you exhale, bring left hand, left arm under the right leg, so you're reaching to the opposite side. Same again, twisting towards the left, reaching the left arm up. And exhale, slide, reach the left arm under the right leg. And 2 more times in your own pace. The in-breath opening the chest, reaching up. And exhale, gently reaching under the right leg. 1 more time, inhaling up. And exhaling, bring both hands on the mat. And then we're going to tuck the left foot toes under, lift the left knee off the mat. And again, you could allow your pelvis to come a bit further down, just opening through that front line in the left leg, left hip. Both arms, shoulders pressing down. Take another breath in and out. You can even play with opening the chest more. And then we'll bring the left knee back down and we start to turn towards the right side of the mat. Again, step right foot lower down along the mat and then turn on to the left side. And we're going to, you can find now the left foot, left hip, left hand along the same line. The right foot is there to support you. Right hand could be on the mat to support you. And now looking for opening along the left side body. And again, you can play with how much you lean onto the left shoulder or if you push away from the mat. And that might all affect how intense the sensations are. And keep breathing all the way down towards that left hip. Allow exhalations to soften any tension, wherever you might feel tension. And then slowly with your next couple of breaths, start to turn into that seat, into that half shoelace pose. So now we're going to leave the left leg still extended and cross the right leg over the left leg. So again, knees maybe not stacked on top of each other, but knees are coming towards the same line on top of each other. And then you could rock a bit from one buttock to the other. And as you exhale, start to lean forward. You could walk your hands further forward and just continue that rocking, swinging movement from side to side. Maybe elbows bend. Find your edge and leave space for the breaths. See if you could release your neck down. And releasing between the shoulder blades, around the hips, in the buttocks, thighs. Breathing down and up a couple more times. And then slowly with your next couple of breaths, start to roll your back up. And now we're going to stay in this seat. Just release both legs and find your way to lie down on the back. So bring yourself all the way down. Leave your knees bent. Leave your feet a bit wider apart. And again, a couple of windshield wipers. Arms could be out on the sides. Again, T-shape or a cactus shape. Find some movement in the whole pelvis, in both hips. And then we're going to slowly bring both knees towards the left side of the mat. We're going to leave the right knee leaning down. It doesn't need to touch the mat. There's quite a big space between the feet. And then bring your left foot on top of the right thigh. So looking for some opening at the front of the right hip, right thigh. And you could bring your right arm overhead. So you might extend sensations all the way from the right hip, along the right side, into the right shoulder. The left arm anywhere where you feel you can keep the left shoulder soft. Make sure there's no pain in the knees. If you feel there's a big twist in the knees, you can still adjust where the legs are. Take another breath in and out. And then slowly release the left foot down. Take the extra weight off the right leg and then bring both legs back to center. Bring the right arm down. And just gently, again, a couple of times swing the legs from side to side. And then we'll do same to the other side. So now bring both legs to your right side. Again, there's quite a big space between the feet. Let the left thigh rotate inwards. And then bring right foot onto the left thigh, not on the knee. So not pushing onto the knee, but onto the thigh. Again, the left knee doesn't need to touch the mat. It doesn't need to come all the way down. Left arm could go overhead, so you're extending that line from the left thigh through the hip into the side body and then all the way up to the right shoulder and arm. I keep my left foot and ankle flexed. If it's better for you to point the ankle, that is a choice you can make. And again, breathing down and up. Inhalation, sliding down towards the left hip and thigh. Exhalation, slide up towards the left shoulder, softening tension. Take another breath in and out. And then first release the right foot down. And then you can bring your legs to center. And now for the next pose, you can either keep your knees bent, you can extend your legs, or you can open legs into a butterfly. But before you fix your legs, we're going to go with the arms. We're going to keep the right arm down next to the right side and bring left arm overhead. And then bend the left elbow so that you reach your left hand between the shoulder blades. So you can lift your head off the mat a bit, bring your left hand between the shoulder blades, and then lean your head down. So maybe finding a bit of an opening around the left shoulder, left arm. It's the cow face arms, but only half of them. So the right arm is still down. If you want, like I said, you might extend the legs, or you might bring legs into a butterfly shape. Allow a few more breaths. Again, sliding them down and up. Allow shoulders to soften as you breathe out. And then slowly we're going to change arms the other way around. If you want to change where the legs are, you can do that here as well. We're going to lift the head slightly up, release the left arm, and then bring right arm overhead. Reach the right hand between the shoulder blades, and then release the head down. And maybe legs are in the same place, maybe they are in a different place. Again, soften through the right shoulder. Make sure there's no pinch or pain around the shoulder. And it doesn't need to be a big stretch. Just a few more breaths here, opening around the right shoulder, right arm. Maybe at the back of the arm, there's a gentle stretch. Take one more breath in and out. And then slowly lift your head off your arm, off the mat. Release both arms. And then find your Shavasana pose. I suggest bringing both arms down, below shoulder height now. You might keep legs in a butterfly, you might keep knees bent, or you might extend your legs down. Where do you feel you could let your whole body rest a moment? If it's easier to focus on your breathing by having hands on your body, you might bring hands on the belly or at the bottom of the ribs. You might close your eyes and just notice each breath in. Notice each breath out. Finding that calm pace, that slow rhythm in your breath. If you notice that you're holding tension around the shoulders or down in the hips, allow exhalations to soften that tension. You might even exhale through the mouth, let out a sigh a few times. Sometimes breathing out through the mouth helps to release effort and release tension that we're holding in the body. Give yourself another 5 to 10 breaths in this resting pose. If you need to adjust the pose, feel free to do that. And then after your 5 to 10 breaths, you can choose to continue your Shavasana pose. Or if you'd like to end your practice in a seat together, then first bring some gentle movement to your hands and feet. You can circle the wrist joints, ankle joints. You could open your eyes if you had your eyes closed, and then from lying down on the back, roll down onto one side, either left or the right side. Pause there for a breath or two. And then in your own time, bring yourself up into a seat, into any easy seat. You could bring your palms together in front of the chest. And as always, at the end of the practice, thank yourself for taking some time for yourself, for your practice today. And I thank you very much for joining in. Namaste. Thank you.